Sweet. What's up, everyone?
What's good? What's good? How we doing, everybody? Happy SellerAmp Seller Hour.
Oh, yeah.
And if you guys are watching on the replay, we're going live tomorrow night for the free class as well. It's been like a little over a month, I think, since we had the last one. So make sure you guys are dialed in for that. It'll be a good time. We'll show you a bunch of like sourcing information that's only on the live class, and lots more to kind of help you get that first 10K made ASAP. But yeah, let us know who we got in chat, and let us know what questions you got. And then we also like breaking down some ASINs during SellerAmp Hour too. So if you guys want to drop any ASINs or products you've been thinking about, those are always fun to review together, see what's a good idea, see what isn't, and yeah, good to see everybody.
VSCG, what up, VSCG? What's up, EMP? EMP, I saw you doing some good work on Twitter.
That's a good pick. That's some good work being done in that picture right there.
I bet that was a like a 2020 shoe release if I had to guess. What up, Denise? Good to see you here. Yeah, so drop some ASINs too. Let's review some ASINs as well, whatever you guys want to take a look at here. I'm going to pull up a couple examples of relevant stuff that I think will be helpful for most of you guys as well, just based on a video I was recently making and everything. But yeah, whatever questions y'all got or anything, feel free to hit us up and we'll take a look here. What's up, Denise? Good to see you here.
They also they announced Prime Day dates. By the way,
they did.
Okay,
shit. All
right, July 8th through 11th. So
it's early.
Yeah, in three-ish weeks or so. Make sure you guys got number one, all the inventory you can in, and like repricing ready to go, that kind of stuff, and also some extra room on your credit card, because there'll be lots of good inventory on websites that compete with Amazon, basically.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, July Tuesday. Oh shit, it's 4 days. Holy crap, man. Yeah.
We take that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. How do you know if a test buy is successful? If you sell out, right? Like, yeah, with a test buy, you're just trying to figure out like how many units of this product will I sell. Well, the South came out of me big time on that one. How many units per day will I sell on this if I'm actually in stock, right? And then you take that and say, all right, I sold 2 per day. I was in stock. Now it's time to buy 60 if I want to be in stock for a month, and so on.
Yeah, big thing is knowing your sold per day on that specific ASIN. What do you mean by repricing? You mean pricing lower, higher? Yeah, so because on Prime Day, volume picks up because customers think they're getting discounts, which they actually are on Amazon for stuff Amazon sells. They're definitely not from us. It would be raising prices on proven ASINs, right? So the only time you want to raise price on something is if it's doing really well for you, which, becomes obvious. The nice thing is Prime Day, a lot of stuff does even better. And there we go.
Yeah, and there's some other fun stuff you can do on repricing as well. Like make sure you're raising prices in the middle of the night every night. Make sure you raise prices when stock is getting really low, so you're making max profit on your last couple units of stuff. Like, yeah, there's a lot of just general repricing stuff to keep in mind too.
What to know? This is a good question here. What to know before using a prep center? Yeah, so for anyone who's unfamiliar with the prep center model, it's basically prep centers are third-party warehousing services that have limited access to your seller account and your Boxem account to do your shipments for you. The reason why it makes sense is because they deal with all the infrastructure of having a warehouse, having the employees, buying the supplies, et cetera, and all you do is you pay a fixed cost. And because most of you guys, just most of the US population, lives in states that have sales tax, using a sales tax-free prep center means you avoid sales tax. So on a $50 product, if you live in a 9% sales tax state, if you wanted to buy it, you'd pay like $54.50. Meanwhile, using a prep center, you're only going to pay like $51.50 because the prep center cost is going to be like $1.50, $2, but the location of the prep center is in a sales tax-free state. So it's a fascinating arbitrage, basically. But what to know before using a prep center is, I'd say how long they've been in business, how many clients they have, how close they are to capacity, turnaround time. Typically that won't be accurate, but just knowing what they promise or knowing what they say they're going to have in general is a good best practice too, as well. Anything I miss on that?
Nope. Pretty solid there. Do you give your test buys a time limit? Must sell it in 30 days? I mean, yeah, all your test buys should sell out way before 30 days. If it takes that long, then that's why you place the test buy. And once you get to the point where your test buys are always selling out quickly, then stop placing them and just buy what you think is a month at a time, because that's how you like really scale. For sure. What up, Basil? How to control delivery time on items listed in your store? Yeah, so for FBM, you can kind of do that more or less with like FBM shipping template. We both have a good video. Just look up like FBM settings guide on YouTube, and you'll see how to set all that up. But a big thing to do is to like lower the shipping time to states that are like really close to you. You can also lower handling time if you can get orders shipped out quick, and then raise the shipping time to states that are really far, so that either you don't make the sale, so you don't make the less profitable sales, or when you do, they're extra profitable because they paid like for fancier shipping, basically.
Yep. Yeah. And Warner brings up a good point with all that. And the big thing with FBM is you have to realize it's a major force multiplier if you can do it on a specific ASIN, which comes down to looking and seeing if other folks are making money on something FBM. If they're not, you probably aren't going to be able to get buy box on it. So if other folks are getting buy box on it FBM, you probably can. But if other folks aren't getting buy box on it FBM, you probably can't. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Paris was good. Paris was cool. London was cool. And now, totally excited to be back in the lab as well to, help you guys cook on back to school, Q4 coming up, et cetera there. What up, Adrian MVP in the cut? What up, Adrian, with the good Air Max 90s
I don't think Adrian's supposed to stream in like months at this point.
Yeah, he's becoming very, very consistent, family. We appreciate you. We appreciate
you. Up there with Armand and a couple others. Sweet. How do you predict the buy box might disappear? Only if it's had a history of it. Otherwise, it should usually stick around. If another website runs a sale on it, then it could also be suppressed for a little bit. But yeah, if your items are suppressed, they're still going to sell. They're just going to sell a little bit slower.
Yep. Yeah. So suppressed is synonymous with no buy box. I know sometimes some of you guys get confused when you see suppressed on the SellerAmp buy box analysis, basically. Right up, but those listings can print money. I found a good prox, but it's generic, and I can't find one with the brand. What do I do? Unfortunately, you're going to have to avoid that prox, man. Anytime you see a generic listed brand, you always want to avoid that stuff, unfortunately. We've got to be here for my brothers. Yes, sir. Yeah, guys, drop some ASINs in the chat. If you want us to review any procs for you, we can pull them up, break down the SellerAmp and keep a data, and see if any of them do make sense and don't make sense. Typically, we're able to save some of you guys a good amount of time and some money, and help you make extra profit too on some stuff we can take a look at here and everything.
Let's see. Good question. If you had any luck sourcing from liquidation distributors, so a lot of times the documentation on those is gonna be too iffy to sell it on Amazon. You can definitely sell that stuff on other marketplaces, but like worst case, you always need to be able to track your inventory back to like a major retailer or even like the manufacturer, that kind of thing. And liquidation distributors, a lot of times they're just like buying random stuff by the truckload. And then if you need your supplier with Amazon, which isn't super common, but it can definitely happen. Like a legit distributor is going to have it and they're able to hook you up, but a liquidator's not really going to have an itemized invoice.
Yep. How to avoid going in circles when storefront stalking. I keep running into the same sellers who I already saw. That means they're making a bunch of money, man. And all you have to do is be able to make those items. But the key is just if you feel like you're going around in circles, don't click the sellers that you recognize the names of, basically. Yeah. Here we go. What do you do when you buy a product that is obviously active on Amazon, but Amazon tells you listing is inactive and I need to create a new listing? Not sure what you mean by that, Mad Moo Dog. Maybe Amazon is discriminating against dogs dressed in cow costumes.
Probably something like that, yeah.
As well. But seriously though, like we're not fully sure what you mean and everything. So let us know specifically more, and we're happy to help. When do you go to prep center? So our friend Corey has a really good answer for this. I'd say whenever you can send like 500 units per month, basically, I think makes the most sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you live somewhere with a lot of sales tax, you might as well, because then just send the expensive stuff to them and the cheap stuff to you. Always save some money that way, basically. Let's see. Did we talk about avoiding circles, storefront stalking?
Yeah, for VSCG,
cool, yeah.
Basically just, kind of the simple answer is like, don't.
Storefront stalking is circular though. That's kind of like why it's good.
Yeah.
Because you can just, run in, not the same circle obviously, but you just keep it rolling basically. Every time you find a new item, everybody on the listing is a potential lead. Just keep the tree growing basically. Can you order 10 times at 10 units? Yeah, but you can just use one unit of 10 unit or one order of 10 units, and it'll satisfy even if it's asking for like crazy amounts. Yeah, just always do 10. If the product has a good monthly sales but no BSR, should you list it anyway? Yeah, a lot of times that's just like a keep a data glitch if there's no sales rank showing up. You can also check on the Amazon listing. If you scroll down, it'll also display the active sales rank. Like you can't see averages and stuff like that, obviously, but you can see if it's showing up there. But a lot of times that's just like a data glitch with Amazon Keep or something like that.
If a product has good, right there. What up, Claire? Good to see you. As well. What up, Veal? Did we already get on this for Veal here, Warner?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, cool. Yeah, that's the key. Is that sometimes you'll see stuff with no sales rank. Those listings can totally print money as well. Yep. Yeah. Send us some ASINs, y'all. Send us some ASINs, y'all. Let's dig it. I'm gonna pull up a couple examples to take a look at, too, as well.
You don't have to be a VIP to get more than just savings with Geico.
Bro got the
the Geico.
dropping a Geico commercial on on stream today. Sweet. TFB dropped an ace in here.
You want to pull that up?
Yeah, I'll get that up.
Cool. Is an invoice from Walmart legit? I submitted twice and got denied. Should I keep applying? 100%, man. Yeah. So getting denied will typically happen 5 to 10 times per brand, right? And then you'll be good to go. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. This I was literally TFB. Let this inform whether or not you should get it. I was doing the sourcing video just before this, and this exact ASIN was the page that I was on in the video. So maybe a little too easy to find, but you're also muted, by the way, Miles. But I literally like double checked. I was like, oh, that's the same product I was just looking at. It's exactly. All right, sweet. So checking it out, like it's a little bit too low in profit, which is what you said, TFP. But yeah, especially just because like with this many sellers on it, it is like a crazy seller. But yeah, it's not worth it for $1.33. In my opinion. That also includes like a little bit of fees and stuff like that. Inbound shipping at 1 cent. These must be like, it's 0.3 ounces. Yeah, I mean it's kind of up to you. I would not mess with it personally because it's going to be less profitable FBM, I would assume. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't. I just don't think there's enough profit here. There's some kind of similar items you can check out.
Yeah, you will like see if there's a what's that drip and clog? Yeah, nail.
Yeah.
The 6-pack doesn't make sense either. Yeah, because 6 buying that.
Yeah, buying for 5 each. Yeah, I wonder if the 6-pack is by the 6-pack is by the brand. Interesting, they're not selling the one. But yeah, there's some other good stuff on that sale though. The whole world was seeing that ASIN. Yeah, exactly. It's basically, I mean, it's in 120 storefronts of arbitrage sellers. So if you've storefront stocked for more than an hour, you've probably seen that ASIN.
Yeah. Hey, can you please share us some wholesalers or distributors to start your journey? Yeah. So no one's really going to give away like wholesalers or distributors online. We recommend starting with the arbitrage model just because that's significantly easier, honestly. So I'd recommend just starting there, honestly.
Yeah, and it's also not valuable. Like even if someone did give you the name of their best supplier, they've been talking to that supplier for years, right? You're just some guy who calls, and you're not going to have the same pricing. You're going to be able to create opportunity where others aren't, and vice versa. So, yeah, just kind of start finding some arbitrage items, and then I'll naturally lead you to, wholesalers to call and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Got another one here.
Yeah, I'll get this popped up.
Boom.
Sweet. Yeah, and for any of you guys that have hopped in recently, drop any ASINs you want us to take a look at together in the chat. Maz, you can pop me up here in a second.
Yes,
and then make sure if you guys want to see how to find a bunch of winning products, make sure you guys are registered for the free class tomorrow night. It's been a while since we've gone live for one of the free classes, but we'll show you guys some sourcing methods that are not on YouTube anywhere. So lots of game for you guys. Make sure you register, and let's check this one out here. So
this looks like this looks great.
Out. Yeah,
this is great volume, man.
Yeah, anytime you see like the keep a buy box line looking like that, it's rotating between a lot of different sellers. Amazon's just tossing sales out to whoever wants them, basically within a certain range of the buy box. Let's see, buying for $7.26. Yeah, this is a very good product. Let's see. Probably, yeah, it's probably like a style ball on a lead. Just be aware that this ships from overseas and it can kind of get damaged and take a while, that kind of thing. But yeah, something like this, that looks really solid to me.
That's
Account
gonna
got
be a great
suspended due to
swap option.
arbitrage. No, it didn't. You just need to submit documentation for whatever they got onto you about. There wouldn't be 10 million, $50 million arbitrage sellers if it wasn't allowed, man. Yeah, you just never able to scale that high. That's why you don't see 8-figure drop shippers, right? So most of the time you don't even see 7-figure drop shippers because they sell a little bit of stuff and it is not allowed and then they get banned.
So good question here from Such Pretty Lady says, can you actually make money with Crayola during back to school since there's so many people on the listing? So a lot of people on a listing, as long as the price isn't going down, tends to be a sign of people totally making money. But let's just go ahead and search Crayola like crayons on Amazon here, right? And then we're not going to worry about like the sponsored listings here, but like immediately we can see like 8K plus bought, 9K plus bought. Like we know people are making money on that stuff, right? So all you have to be able to do is make those listings profitable. And what you can do is pull these listings up and look last year how much the sales rank decreased and how much the monthly sold went up. And you'll notice a lot of these listings, a lot of back to school type items, they have demand that massively increases basically during the peak of back to school in July and August, right there, basically. Yeah. What does Amazon Prime Day mean to us as a seller? So it's actually a lot better for buying stuff rather than selling, because you kind of think of Prime Day as like stuff decreasing in price. For listings, Amazon sells, that will be the case, but not for listings that you're selling, right? Sometimes Amazon will toss a discount on your items, but they reimburse you so you don't lose anything. Basically, the big thing with Prime Day is the websites, which is basically every website that runs sales to compete with Amazon. Yeah, so increased discounts, more markdowns, more profit for us, or more profitable products for us.
The big thing as far as like the stuff you're going to sell, a lot of times for holidays and Prime Days and that kind of thing, I'll make sure that anything I've been stuck on for a while is like price to move, basically, just while there's more people on Amazon. Especially if it's like slower selling stuff, there'll be extra people, extra eyes, that kind of thing. New seller working on Ungating, lots of brands. Yeah, if it's not letting you apply to sell, then you can just sell one of the couple thousand other good brands that do let you apply. Yeah, just sell what you can.
Yep. Deep information. Can you share tips on how I can start arbitrage? Yeah, come to the free class we got going out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be the best place to get involved. We're going to show you how to create shipments, what winning products look like, how the business actually works, a ton of tips and tricks. A lot of beginners just, you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else free. We definitely don't share it for free. So that's going to be the best place to start. Is it too late to send FBA for Prime Day? Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. And either way, you don't really have a choice because, you send it in regardless, right? So worst comes to worst, if it doesn't check in, you just sell it after. But a lot of stuff will check in prior. Send it in today on that. Also, too, little Boxum update drop. So the new LTL shipment flow is available, so you can now send pallets on Boxum again. After the new Amazon update, we had basically been getting it ready for you guys now, and now you're now able to send pallet shipments using Boxum again.
Yep. Yeah, it's super smooth. For any of you guys that are scaling, it's by far the best way to do pallets now.
Let's see. Good question here from JP Fishing. How much of the price should we go up on procs do y'all recommend? Yeah, so pricing guidelines, I would say for merchant filled listings, just match the buy box, right? As long as you can see other people selling it merchant filled. For FBA, when you initially ship them off to the Amazon warehouse, price like 20 to 30% above the buy box. And then once your listings are fully checked in, then go a little bit above it, like 3 to 5%. And then as something sells really well, continue to raise it up, basically.
Yep. Why not sell on Facebook Marketplace? I mean, you can music, but are you going to find like, I don't know, are you going to find like 200 to 500 sales per day on Facebook that are automatically shipped for you? No. Are you going to make more margin on Facebook Marketplace? Yeah, for sure.
You're going to
So it's like, it's where you're at. It's where you're at in the game. You're not going to see anyone making millions on Facebook Marketplace, but you're also not going to see people making 80% margins on Amazon. That'd be a pretty good Facebook Marketplace flip. But yeah, there's no reason to limit yourself on what you can do, but you're not going to scale with that.
People lowball on Facebook Marketplace. That's
Yeah. Build a lowball bot for Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Just
I have 50 to 80K, but still stuck in approvals. Dude, Shiraz, you should totally get coaching then, man. I would love to help. I think you're super, super well capitalized. It's a perfect fit to get some of that fast tracked right there. Should I buy a Lamborghini or reinvest in my Amazon biz, man? Hey, you got to invest in yourself. Buy that Lamborghini.
Yeah, in fact, just spend all of your cash on useless junk so that you can't grow the business at all, but you have like a cool car and a fancy watch.
Yeah, nah, keep reinvesting. I do resell on eBay. Cool, dude. Yeah, eBay you can get even higher than that, man, depending on kind of what model you're running with, honestly.
Let's see. You got a ASIN to take a look at. Yeah, let's check out another product here. What should your price be with it? Let's see. Is this like your actually I don't know if you want to share that. I think this is your like private label if you've done like some research and stuff on it. Yeah.
Well, hey, good for you, man, doing the PL, but yeah, we probably don't want to.
Yeah. We won't put that on screen. I'd delete your comment if I were you. But yeah, it's like your private label idea, which we do not do private label. But yeah, you should definitely do whatever business you think is fun. Sent 100 units of a product from Alibaba. Make sure you made that product. If you bought it from Alibaba, make sure it's not going to a listing that already exists. Like it's your trademark, your listing, your ads, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you're about to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. What's the link for tomorrow's class? Yeah, we'll drop it. It's also in the description too, but it's go.thefbaroadmap.com/register. You can just save your seat right there. We'll hop on. It's not going to be public on YouTube. It's solely going to be here. Or sorry, it's actually not solely going to be here. It's only going to be through using the Zoom link, which the only way you can get that for free is to go link in the description and sign up right there. I see Amazon ungating approval for some products for 1 units. You think you'll be able to ungate with 20 units? We're still seeing that work, but if it's something cheap like Elmer's glue or like Crayola or something, honestly, you should just buy like honestly the couple hundred that are required right there because it's just super simple when you can get the amount easily that's required without needing much money for it, basically. Yeah, but is a generic product? Okay. Okay. Interesting. So you made the listing. You gotta go through brand registry, man. You gotta go through brand registry.
Yeah. Make sure you brand register it. Yeah, I was scared you said you're selling generic brand. Make sure it's not listed as generic brand if it is. Have the supplier stick on FNSKU. No, that sounds great. Yeah, you can have your supplier label it if they're cool with that. Another thing I've seen like some smart private label sellers do is embed the FNSKU in the product packaging too, so you don't have to pay extra to put a sticker on it. Why not lower winning product criteria and just make up with volume? You definitely like if you have a lot of money, that's what you should be doing because it's better to make 20% ROI than 0%, right? If the money's just sitting there. But the danger with like lowering your standards on what you can buy is a lot of times if you lower your standards on the wrong stuff, you end up losing money after it's all said and done because maybe you bought a 20% ROI that was even a little bit more expensive than normal and the price drops to where it belongs and then you're not making money. Or you buy a 20% ROI, women's shirt that's going to get returned a bunch and then you're not making money, right? So yeah, you definitely lower your criteria. Like you don't want to be too picky where you spend nothing, but only lower it on things that are like stable, low return, that kind of thing.
Yeah, easy, consistent. Like if something pumps super quick, like 500 plus units bought a month, 1,000 plus units bought a month, and you can capture 15% of that volume and make a couple $100 profit or even a couple $1,000 profit minimum on that guy, turn on. Let's get rich. Let's get rich.
See. Hammy, you said you listed as generic. Okay, yeah. Hammy, I would be careful. It sounds like if you've never like sold anything on Amazon, I would do some reselling for at least like a few months. Make plenty of money to fund like private label ideas. Because yeah, if you list it as generic, you're headed towards like getting your account shut down if you're selling a bunch of generic branded stuff. Just like the way it works on Amazon. So be careful with that. Because then you also like even if it is your private label, you have no protection. So people are going to get on your listing and you have no way to kick them off.
Like low key, even if it is your listing, sometimes
yeah,
for a month or two, you have trouble getting anyone off it. Right there. Any seller recommend from private label? I have a group of us that are looking to start a brand. Ooh, neat. There's some good guys. What I would do is just kind of hit the keywords and dig around, and then kind of see who you resonate most with on that. I love your eyes. Fields of Pop. I think it's boom. May God protect you both. Hey, I appreciate you, family. I appreciate you, family.
Appreciate you.
We've been doing these streams 4 years in a row next month, and I think that's a new one right there. Want to make sure I already, what if it's still gated and I'm in the process of ungating? Yeah, I mean, they should be used to people doing that. Like, you're obviously not going to be gated in everything you need, or you're obviously not going to be ungated in everything you buy. You're going to be going through that ungating process. They should be comfortable with that, I would say.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, we buy a ton of stuff that we're gated in because while it's shipping to the prep center, you just use that invoice to get ungated. If they're being really picky, you can just say, all right, what's the monthly storage? And then if you have something get stuck there for a while, then they still make money, and you just leave it on the shelf until it's ungated. Premier, you said, what's the difference between YouTube and the paid program? Yeah, so the roadmap's going to have like a lot of extra sourcing methods and all that kind of stuff. Weekly support, you can DM us, all that kind of stuff. I'll drop a link in the comments if any of you guys are interested in more formal help, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, love to get you guys right on that. Boom, right there.
Do you guys still actively sell? Yeah, of course, Alexandra. Yeah, a little bit slower this time of year than a lot of past years, but I think I'll check right now. We're like 150 or so a month last couple months.
Target is better. Yeah, Target's excellent for ungating, but like that, Walmart does work, right? It's not that it like doesn't work. It can just take a little bit longer to get approved, but there's a bunch of brands that only come from Walmart. They're basically owned by Walmart, so we know for a fact that they work based on that. Is there anything I could do? Nah. So if it's no longer accepting applications or it says like copy listing, that means it's what's called hard gated. And that means you can't go ahead and get approved for that. So those you just want to avoid when you see right there.
See if it's profitable on Walmart. Start looking at some other brands. Yeah.
Even eBay, stuff like that too, as well.
Yep.
Hide my address. Yes, you can change your ship from address and make it be like a post office box or a warehouse venture if you get one right there.
Yeah, so Walmart give invoice. Yeah, you can use Walmart LV.
Yeah, you'll
less successful than like honestly most retail sites just because the way they format their invoices. But like I've definitely done it before. Yeah, just because they put your address in a weird spot. Like most websites, when you buy, you'll get an email that nicely lays out everything. It exactly works as an invoice. Can you register? Yeah, you can probably do that. You can probably do that, Shiraz.
Good question here from Fia. Found an auto-ungated product from Walmart, but it's not sold and shipped by Walmart. Yeah, you got to avoid it then, unfortunately. When it's not sold and shipped by Walmart, when it's sold and shipped by a third-party seller, typically you want to you always want to avoid it because there's a good chance that's a fake product, unfortunately. Yeah. Wish that wasn't the case, but unfortunately it is.
I bet it's less fake than it was like a couple years ago.
Less. Yeah,
but still, like even if it is a legit third-party seller on Walmart, worst case, sometimes Amazon might want your supplier's supplier, which you're never going to be able to get when you're buying from a third-party seller on Walmart.
Yeah, the playbook you could do for that is you can look up the business, and if it's a legit business, buy directly from them. If it's like a retailer with brick and mortar.
A lot of times they have like a website and they're like a real retailer and that kind of thing. They're just selling on Walmart as well. Yeah. You'll see that with a lot of, honestly, a lot of like smaller retailers also sell on Amazon and Walmart. I'm going to paste. Saw me make a post saying that the slower something sells, you should raise winning criteria. Yeah, exactly. It's just like anytime you buy an item, there's a sliding scale of how much profit should I look for, and that's everything from how hard was this to find? Does it sell slow? Does it sell fast? Is there a chance of IP complaint? Like anything that increases or decreases risk should do the same increase or decrease on like the profit you're looking for.
Can you do calls in the room? Can you list what's included? Yeah, we had actually a really good coaching call last night. Got like 45 or so sellers on there. So it's 20 plus hours of video content on the Discord. We got the coaching calls every Sunday, all the coaching call recordings as well. I was out of town, so that's why we did the Sunday call Monday for this week. And everything in there's a full 2-week, no questions asked, money back guarantee as well. Can you share your hair growth oil? Shit. Yeah, what is it, Warner?
Just a little bit conditioner. I don't know, nothing. Hammy man, are you dropping like a keyword, a private label keyword soup in the comments there?
That, yeah.
You made a listing for that? Okay.
Yeah. Do the main intro there. Yeah. Cool.
That is a keyword soup, though. That's funny.
China and checks. Yeah, so I'd be shocked if any supplier from China worked for Ungating. It's probably going to be generic stuff. Just use the brand website or a big retailer for that brand, and most likely avoid buying from China in that case. Yeah. Yep. So guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in for Q&A today. We have a really good free live class for Prime Day and back to school prep that we're going to be doing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be posted anywhere. The only way to get access to the private Zoom call is via the link in the description. Go.thefbaroadmap.com. So if you want a bunch of free game, you want to learn how to make shipments, find winning procs, bunch of tips and tricks we don't share anywhere else for free. The only place we give away this game is the free live class. You should totally tune in tomorrow, and we gonna get right with all that. So that's go.thefbaroadmap.com/register. Warner just dropped it in the chat. I'll drop it in the chat from my chat right now as well. Felt like Aiden Ross even saying that. Tune in tomorrow night. Yes. Yep. I'm gonna find out. Yes, we got that in the chat right there. So go.thefbaroadmap.com/register. Super excited to tap in with you guys. Bring your notes, bring your good energy, bring your good questions. We're gonna get rock and roll in the chat tomorrow night too, as well. And y'all have a great night. Let's get to it, guys.
Absolutely. See you, everybody.
See y'all later. Have a great one.
Thanks, everybody.